Hello. Hello, everyone. I think I kicked us out. Hold on. Okay, guys, we are here. We are here and we are ready to go. Um, hey, Dolly.
Hey, hey
How are we doing
everybody.
today? How are we doing today?
Love y'all feeling glammed and beautiful.
I hear
Are you
that.
getting into the bun?
Yes, I'm into the look, girl, because you're looking good. You're looking good. You're looking good.
Thank
Um,
the girls is
The girls is out. We showing up and we showing out today. We are ready. We are ready. We are ready. Um, Let me just try to get because this stuff is still new. So let me just try to get to see what's going on with everybody on the Facebook side of things, and hopefully everybody can get in. Our guest speaker is running behind, so yes, they are in here. Hello, Diane. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Tanya. How's everybody doing today? How we doing? Good to see you guys are ready to go. We're going to hold out for a little bit and make sure some people can come on in. Um, hey, Miss Me with the Bullshit. How you doing today? Thank you so much for coming in. So how's everybody doing on this Easter Sunday? We're going to get this cooking. Our guest, Mr. Clarence Houston, is having some technical difficulties, so we are going to hope that he can get things together and that we can get him on in here. So we're going to hold out for that. Hello, Enigmatic Opinion. Good to see you again this week. Hey, Dorothy. Glad to see you this week. Glad to see you again. Um, Dolly, what's going on? Thanks for coming back. Oh my God, thank you. You ready? Your sound, girl, your sound. We can't hear you. Your sound. Can everyone hear me? I hope. Send me a one if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Dolly? Are you check your volume? Because we can't hear you. Hey, Ray of Sunshine. I don't know why we can't hear you. Let's play around here a little bit. Technical difficulties. Can you hear me? Okay. Can everybody else hear Dolly? If you can hear Dolly, send me a one, please. Check to make sure you're not mute. All right, hold on, y'all. Let me get the glasses. Let me get the glasses out. I don't have you muted on my end at all. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Can you turn your volume up? Okay, so you're gonna log out and come back in. Okay, got you. Okay, so I'm sorry guys, but we started out with technical difficulties, so I don't know if it's restream or not because we did start out with technical difficulties before we even really got started. So let her go out and come back in, and then we'll see how things start to go. But guys, I am so excited about the topic we're going to talk about today. We're going to be talking about what are the requirements of a high valued woman. And this is a topic that It would be great to get it from a male's perspective, but if we don't get that male in here, Dolly, let's see what happens. If we don't get that male in here, hey, Dolly, I don't know. Um, I don't know, guys. If we don't get that male perspective, we're going to just do what we always do, which is chop it up as women and try to learn a little bit of something from each other and take it from there. I don't even know. Anyone have any suggestions? Anybody that's familiar with Restream on what we can do here to get Dolly in here with us? Everyone can hear me. Am I right? Hey, Quilla. Okay, hold on a minute. Somebody's trying to help me out, so give me a minute, guys.
Hear me now?
There we go. There. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Something, honey. This
Um,
is why I do the tech technology, okay? This
I,
is some stupidness.
I know, girl. I know. I
I had to
know.
and then go to built-in microphone, which it should automatically do because it was on automatic. Stupid.
Listen, this is what happens when we are dealing with technical stuff. This is what is going to happen. Hey, Deshauna, glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. Let's see
I,
who else is
I
coming. Hey, Miss Simmons, good to see you. Hey, Melissa, good to see you. Thank you guys for joining us. So, as I was saying, our male guest had some technical difficulties, so he's going to try to work it out on his side. But in the meantime, we're going to get started. We're not going to let this thing, we're not going to let nothing hold us back from what it is we intend to do. I just need to get my camera right because I know I'm halfway in the screen and halfway out. There we go. Okay, so I guess the first question that I have is, what do we consider a high value woman? I don't necessarily like that term, but it's a term that we're starting to hear quite often, because my perception on it is, what's of value to one is not of value to another. So I don't know. It's kind of like, to me, as though we are putting a value. It's like, what's the difference between the value of a Louis Vuitton and the value of a Coach? Both of those bags will last us for years and years, but who places the value on those? Who decides how much one is going to cost over the other? That's my perception of it. So I don't like to use that terminology. Dolly, what do you think about that?
the same thing you think about it. I don't even understand what that means. What? So am I not valuable because of what? What makes me not valuable?
Right. Hey, Latoya, good to see you. I don't know. Does anyone have an opinion? Hey, Shirley, good to see you. Does anybody have any opinion on what is considered, or what do you think about when you hear that term high value woman? What do we think about that?
Like I'm confused.
For
Is it does it have to do with how she carries herself?
I'm sorry.
Would it have to do with how a woman carries herself? Like how you know how they say there's difference between a woman and a lady? Would the
It could
lady be the high
be.
value?
It could be, and you know what I'm okay. So when I thought about it more, I started thinking of it in terms of basically what are the requirements that a man would be looking into if he was looking for a woman of substance. What are some of the requirements? So that's how I'm gonna look at it. Is like, if I have a gentleman and he, to me, has good qualities, and those qualities for me could be different from the qualities that you may be thinking about, right? Some people think that a man's value is based on how much money he earns, things of that nature, whereas I may put stock and say it's not really about how much he earns, but it's about how he treats me or how he treats himself. So it could be different for everybody. Everybody can have a different perception on that. So let me just see what everybody is saying. So enigmatic opinion says, in regard to the handbag analogy, the market decides the value. So what? But how do they decide the value of a one? Like, how do you decide that?
An
Um,
individual.
Festus, Festus says high value or high maintenance. How do you take that?
I think high maintenance is from the individual's outlook, not from the outside world looking at the individual.
Okay.
I don't think that's the same. A high, if I think like how you said, a high value woman would be, from a man's perspective, possibly, uh, probably a woman who doesn't give it up quick to a guy, a woman who is able to uh, equally contribute financially to the household.
Mm-hmm.
Um, those are the things I would think of. I wouldn't like me. I may not equally financially contribute in my household, but I contribute in other ways, which balances it out. So would that be considered a low valued woman? Because I don't know. It depends. I think it depends on the male who is looking for he values in a woman.
Right. So we are wireless, Quilla. Um, we are. So Deshauna says high value may not be the term. You only know your value. Someone may look for qualities. So then how about we switch it around a little bit? How about what qualities do you think that a good woman would have? Quote unquote good woman. Um, what qualities do we think? Miss Me says historically the value of people was set based on strength, age, and vitality. Yeah, and money was added later. So, because for me, when I think about high maintenance woman in that regard, high maintenance to me means that this is a woman, and this is my opinion. High maintenance to me means a woman that has to go and get her nails done at the shop every week. She has to have the latest hairdo, weave, whatever. She has to have Louis Vuitton shoes, red bottom shoes. To me, when someone says to me high maintenance, that's what I think. When I think of the word value, it's like of what substance? What are you bringing to the table? So what do we think, what as women, since we don't really have that male, we have some males in the chat. So if you guys can share with us what type of value would you be looking at for a woman? What value would you be looking at? And we may be frozen on YouTube. So Dorothy says, I agree, Dolly. It depends on the man. Um, yes, it does depend on the man, definitely. And each man is looking for something different because every man doesn't have to have a woman that works. Every man doesn't have to have a woman that's bringing an income. So it does depend on the man. Um, Aquila says, my husband said, as long as she is paying for whatever it is she wants. What do we think about that? And that's from a male's perspective. He's saying he's okay with it as long as the woman is taking care of it herself. But can you just be taking care of that and not have to take care of household bills too? Like, can we do one or the other? Is it okay if we get our nails done, get our hair done, we do all of that, and we don't help contribute to the household? Is that okay? Would you still be considered a value to that relationship? Somebody else is asking. I have a gentleman that is asking to be added. So maybe we'll at it from another gentleman's perspective. Since we can't get Clarence in. Dolly, are you still with me? We're frozen. Okay, so we are frozen once again. I don't know what is going on here. I don't know what's going on. Dolly is frozen again. I have someone that wants to join us from a male's perspective. So we're going to join him in. Um, I don't know. We're having a hard time today, guys. I don't know why, but we are. Dolly has um, gotten put back out. So we are having some technical difficulties today for whatever reason. Hopefully, we'll get it cleared up so that we can keep going. But I don't know. We seem to be frozen. Again, I don't know. Here she is back. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, can you hear us,
You hear
Dolly?
me?
Yeah, I don't know what's going
I
on
can hear you.
today. Okay, so I have a gentleman that wants to come in and give his opinion. So I'm going to add him on since we don't have Clarence right now. I'm going to try to add him in and let's see what he has to share with us.
Okay.
So Aquila says, in the meantime, she says, because you are taking care of yourself doesn't mean that you are not a part of a team. And Quilla, I agree with you. We don't necessarily need to um, substitute one or the other. We can still take care of ourselves and contribute to our households. Absolutely. But I'm just playing devil's advocate to see, where we're at. How do we feel about that? How does a man feel about that? Would he be accepting of that and still consider that a woman of value? Is my question.
I would listen. I know what I contribute. I know my worth. Whether someone else finds value in that, that's completely up to them. I know
Right.
as a woman what I'm willing to tolerate and what I find is valuable and what I don't. I guess if we could look at it from a woman's standpoint, what would we find valuable from a man, right? Because I necessarily am a person who doesn't believe that. Um, I don't necessarily believe the traditional role is the end all be all when it comes to being in a relationship. I wouldn't mind if I had to be the breadwinner and my husband was home taking care of the kids, making the meals, cleaning the house, doing all that stuff. I would be completely fine with that. But you're gonna
Right.
contribute something. You ain't gonna be a whole bum in my presence.
Right.
And that's
Um, right. I agree with you, Dolly. I don't mind as long as, at some point somebody is going to contribute more than another in terms of monetary, because everything isn't always monetary. Sometimes if I have a man and he's going to cook and he's going to clean and he's going to do the laundry, um I don't know, I may say that that's okay, but I don't know if at some point I won't start to resent that, even though it just seems like it's the right thing to do. I may start to resent that at some point. I don't know. I don't know.
right.
um
So do we
so
know that it's a base base?
Dorothy, she says, I agree, Dolly, and a whole bum. Okay. And Quilla says, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Um, so I don't know. You'll have to excuse me. My allergies are just coming into full force since the moment I got on here. It's like my allergies are running. So forgive me, guys.
It's
Um,
like what?
so I don't know. So do you, let's think, let me ask you a question, Dolly. Do you consider yourself a woman of value? And if your answer is yes, why do you consider yourself a woman of value?
Now you know my arrogant ass think I'm a
I can't. I can't.
no. Of course I'm a woman of value. Of course. I would not have gotten to where I am in life if I wasn't a woman of value. You know what I'm saying?
What
I
makes
I
you
came from, that's what I was just about to get to. So I came from very humble beginnings. I'm not talking about the beginnings from when I was with my mom. I'm talking about from when I decided to step my grown ass out the house and be on my own. I came from the struggle.
your sound, your sound. So Festus says it depends on your goals. Okay, and Dorothy says, I am a woman of value.
You hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. So I was just reading off. So Festus says it depends on your goals. And Dorothy says, I am a woman of value. So go ahead and finish telling us what
All right.
makes you a woman of value.
So what I was saying was that I'm not speaking in terms of when I was me having humble beginnings when I was still living with my parents. I'm talking about me stepping out on my own and deciding I was a grown woman and where it led me in life. Starting from literally nothing, like being 17, living in Brooklyn with my now husband, in a when I tell you a shithole, you remember this dude talking about shithole country? No, you ain't seen a shithole till you saw what the hell we was staying up in. I wish I had pictures. I promise you. Coming from that to where we are now, living in a house, having a family, having 3 kids, being married for going on 15 years, together for 20. I helped create that. I built that. That wasn't just one person in a relationship that carried us through. You understand?
Right.
That had to do with me being the driving force behind what my husband is now today, being the mother that I am to help raise these children and to keep this house in order. So yes, I consider myself a woman of value, and anyone who doesn't can kiss grass.
Okay, kiss the grass. Hello, Tasha. Thank you for joining us on that note. Um, kiss the grass. I mean, listen. So what you're saying basically is that what makes you a high value woman is what it sounded like to me that was most important that came out of that was that you supported your husband, that there was a support system in place, that the both of you found some sort of balance and did what you needed to do to overcome the obstacles that you had set in front of you. And it sounds like you couldn't have done it without him and he couldn't have done it without you, that the both of you came together and made a decision that you were going to upgrade your life and your
That,
lifestyle.
that's right.
So um, there you have it. So Festus says, so now you're talking about low self esteem. And low self esteem is absolutely plays a part in women not feeling that they value themselves. That's definitely, and it's one of the reasons why I am doing what I'm doing, because I want women to feel empowered. I want women to feel that they have the tools, that they have self-worth, that they are worthy. And once you begin to feel certain things and know certain things and believe certain things about yourself, you absolutely can add value not only to yourself but to any relationship that's out there. And I fully believe that. um Quilla says, because we can bring home the bacon and also cook it up in the pan. We are all of these values. And she's absolutely right. She's absolutely right. But do we, so when we start thinking in terms of what I just heard Dolly saying, what some of you are saying, um, how do we, why can't a lot of us get good relationships going if we are willing to put in the work that, say, Dolly has done? Where's the disconnect there that a lot of us are still not finding good men, but we're willing to share and do all of these things? Where's the disconnect there? Deshauna says, I'm a woman of value. If I'm winning, so are you. We are a team. Absolutely. And I'm hearing these things from women that are married. So, of course, if you're in it, then a lot of us have to take from that and say, okay, well, if they've done it, how do we do it? Diane, God bless you too. Festus says, no doubt, you are a woman of value, mutual support. He's talking to his wife. Um, Dorothy says, you have to love yourself first. And we know that. We know that, but saying it is easier than done.
Yep.
And loving yourself means what? Because people use that term all the time. I need to love myself. I love myself. But some of the things that you do don't show that you love yourself. If you love yourself, then why do you keep choosing men that don't serve you well? Miss Me with the Bullshit says, we as women don't know how to be
Mm-hmm.
alone long enough to know what they are willing to tolerate and what
Yep.
not to do. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
because we fear loneliness more than we fear uh, being disregarded, disrespected, and all of these other things by the person that we choosing to be with. It is the absolute truth. To answer the question that you posed before, the reason why a lot of women have these attributes and may not be able to attract the same kind of men is because they're not exuding that energy. You could do all of this stuff. All this independent woman stuff. You do it all, honey. You a single mama. You got all these kids. You're able to do that, handle that very well. You got your career cracking. Got that going on very well. But your attitude is rank.
Right. Right.
Rank. You could have all of that and be a boss to the bottoms of your soul or your feet, but you gotta be soft enough to receive love and to know what love is in order to receive it in the first place. A lot of people have a misconception of what love is,
Mm-hmm.
and love don't run out like money.
Um, so Festus says, I need to go back and correct something. He says, no doubt you are a woman of value, the mutual support. That was for you, Dolly. Um, and Dorothy says, most people settle when they shouldn't. Um, and we absolutely do, but that goes back to how we feel about ourselves. So even in this sense of asking a man, what does he value? uh, what do we value in ourselves? What are we valuing in ourselves is probably a more important question. And that's more of an important question to answer than anything. Um, Miss Me with the Bullshit says, exactly. Women say, I want a man who takes care of me, but you don't want a man, you want a parole officer.
Hello, listen.
You can't even say nothing to that. You
I think
can't.
it's got to a point where we have become so independent and bossy as women that you can't even allow your man to be to play his part in your life
Hmm.
because you done everything. When do you want to come home and take your own cape off and just be like, "Oh, rescue me"? All right? No, you got to be the boss of everything. Then you're complaining.
Do
You
you
know,
think that that plays into women feeling that they need to be strong? Because a lot of us was raised that if we cater to a man or depend on a man, that we're weak, that we're not strong. And this is a lot in our community that we're not considered strong Black women. So you think that that plays a part in why a lot of women aren't allowing their men to be men and taking off that cape and saying, okay, this is yours. What's wrong with a woman when the man comes home from work, giving him a back rub and saying, babe, are you okay? Because he's had a hard day dealing with society. Is that a problem? Is that if you were the woman that did that, would that place more value on you as a partner?
one to answer the first part. Um, I think I think women need to know when to be strong. I don't think the problem is that we are too strong. We're not strong enough. I think we don't
Mm-hmm.
know. We have a problem with uh, knowing when to assert ourselves and when to just fall back and allow them to take the reins, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's the second thing is, yeah, I mean, if you are in tune with your man and you know when he needs peace and you are supposed to be his peace, then step up and do that. You know,
Right.
he don't want to come home to a damn headache. If you don't feel like cooking, you know what your man like to eat. Go order something. It
You
don't
think
mean
I
that you got to
ordered
save
it?
off a stove every single day, but you know what your man like.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
fill in the damn gaps, girl. Stop acting oblivious.
Deshauna says you can be strong and shut the fuck up too.
Yes, you can.
Hello?
What comedy special said? There was something that said that he wears the pants, but I'm the belt or something like that. He the head of the house, but I'm
Um,
the neck. It's very true.
it's true. Um, Miss Me says strength has levels to it. Too much is intimidating and too little is weakness. And you know what? We pray and we hope that we find someone that knows how to balance the two, because too far this way can be abusive and too far this way could be you too weak for me. I can't. So it can fall either way. Um, Festus says a woman is not gonna love a man that she bosses around. I agree, and that's what we were
Respect
just saying.
is different.
But for a relationship to thrive, there has to be mutual respect. I think we all can agree on that.
That's what I'm
Um,
saying. You're not gonna
yeah,
respect him. That don't mean you love him. You can love anybody. Love, that's a choice. You
right,
can love somebody. I love you. Yeah, I care about you. I won't. I ain't got no respect for nobody. I could walk over like a damn rug.
right, right. But what? Dorothy says it's strong to know when you have to shut the f up. That and I agree, Dorothy. That's a strength to be able to say, you want to say something so bad, but you're like, oh, oh, okay, hun. All right. I mean that. Listen, that's a strength that I mean a lot of us don't have. It's a strength, but
Practice.
obviously obviously it's a value to most men because it makes them feel more of a man. So obviously, Tasha says not all men are the same. That's a big mistaken thing, but there are good and bad in all things. That just makes me say there's good and bad in everyone. How did that go? What did that supposed to mean? But Tasha, you are right. Not all men are the same. And it is a mistake because what I know in my 53 years of life is that there are men that are just weaker. And there's someone out here for that man. Every man doesn't want, listen, some men want you to run all over them. Let's be real about it. You do have some men like that. You're laughing, but you come on, y'all know that's true.
It's a fetish thing. It's not necessarily something that I think they would prefer on a day to day basis. I don't think a man would prefer emasculation. Like that's just not.
That's
I
not
think
it.
that's more so in the bedroom. I'm the CEO all day. I need you to come and conquer this, girl. Like that's that way. Yes.
Okay. Shauna says, these women don't know how to be women. The baggage is heavy. Know your place. Hello. And you know your place. No, listen, know your place. I couldn't say it better. Know your place. But and Tasha's making a good point here. She says, but you have to learn and accept your bad habits. And what that says to me is that you have to humble yourself. You have to humble yourself and you have to know that none of us are perfect. And you can't harp on constantly saying what your man is doing wrong and not focusing on what you're doing wrong too. So I think it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
I
A
definitely think
relationship,
it's a balance.
equal contribution. Nobody's in a relationship by themselves. Okay.
Miss Me
If you
says
find,
alpha and beta. That goes both ways.
yeah, give and take.
Do you
You have
feel
to.
that as a woman that you have to you guys feel that women have to give up more, like they have to, there's more expected of them? Because I hear a lot of women complain like I've got to go to work, I've got to clean the house, I've got to do the laundry, I've got to take care of the children. Do you feel that there's an uneven keel there, that you do have to put in more as a woman?
Yeah, if you're not with someone that's equally yoked, or not someone that's a partner,
Mm-hmm.
there has to be shared responsibility. It can't just be like, well, I work, so you do everything else. No,
Right,
you
right.
got to share the responsibility. Period.
Shauna says you have to know what works for you and yours and not go off of what others are doing. Right. I agree with that. Because so many times and we talked about this last week, we're so busy comparing ourselves to others that we lose sight of who we are and what we're looking for. And that goes back to the beginning of this conversation, is that what you place value in is not what the next person is going to place value in. So it's kind of difficult to say what are the requirements of a high value woman, because the requirements would be different for every person. For every man, the requirements would be different, right?
Right. Can y'all hear me?
So Deshauna says we all have a place at any given moment. Disrespect is, I think she meant to say respect is earned. When communication is open, you know where she's not finished typing, so I'm gonna let her finish typing that. But
My
um
mama is my.
guys, if you are on YouTube, please remember to hit that like button. Please remember to hit that like button for me, please. Um and so Ray of Sunshine says, yes, and I can say that about 3 to 4 years into our marriage, we finally found a groove, and not everything fell on me. And it's a balancing act. It is a balancing act. Um,
Read what Miss Me to the Bullshit just said.
can you see it? Because I probably lost it.
It says no expectations occur across gender lines. Men do just as much as women, but can you attach that to a value?
Okay, there we go. I got it. Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, I would attach it to a value, because to me, it's the same way. To me, it's the same way. Like if my man does laundry, that's a plus for me, because that means that he's willing to kind of help me out with the load per se. It is a value to me. I think that anytime that you have a man that's willing to take on equal responsibilities and not just say, oh, you wash the dishes because that's a woman's job, to me, he would be of great value to me. Um, the same way, if a man had a woman at home and she was willing to, if the curtain rod needed to be put up, if she was willing to do that instead of waiting for him to come home from a hard days of work. So I think there's value in what people bring to a relationship. I think there's always, I think you have to look at it that way. To me, because it got quiet. You have to work around, like it's not quiet over here anyway. You have to work. Tasha says you have to work around each other and see what works and what people are comfortable with. Absolutely, absolutely. I agree.
That comes with
Um,
communication.
oh, Deshauna said no. I said disrespect is earned. Okay, sorry. Okay. So our guest speaker has just arrived. And the thing is to try to get him to come on in the chat. Um, and maybe he can get some help doing that, which means he needs to go back to that link and click on that link, and then I should be able to get him in here. So if you guys could help him out with that, please, I would appreciate it. So Joy says, being by yourself allows for learning how to get rid of the baggage. Bag Lady is a true, true song. Let's sing it together.
Listen, that's some real.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That is. I'm singing it in my head right now.
But if you yourself can work on you and work on what you value the most in yourself. So because I think this always goes back to you as a person. And if you can start to work on what you, the belief system and the morals that you want to live by, then you will attract that same type of individual to you. Because again, there's someone, my belief is there's someone for everyone. Because you may look at somebody and go, what the hell does he see in her? But it's because she's for him and he's
Yeah,
for her. So we definitely have to work on ourselves before we can add value to anybody's life. You need to add value to your own. How you feel about that, Dolly?
I absolutely agree. There's one more. There's one more layer to that too, though, because uh, sometimes I don't think people get with others based on how they value them per se. Like they don't put them on a pedestal. Sometimes
Uh-huh.
people get with others because of what they see that they could do for them,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of get with people to use them. That's abuse. So sometimes when you may see a man with a girl that's clearly not in his league, you raise an eyebrow to that, like what is going on over here?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not to shade her. Sometimes the dude likes the homely female to stay home so they could be out gallivanting and doing filth, slaughtering filth with the next broad. Not always because he values her. But then
Mm-hmm.
again, I would need a dirt bag's opinion on that because not a real man is going to sit there and do that. A dirt bag can answer to that. So if you're in the house, please.
I can't. I cannot. I cannot. Do we I'm trying to get Clarence in the chat, guys. So just bear with me a minute. Um bear with me. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So Ray of Sunshine says it means the man is paying attention and stepping in so his woman isn't overwhelmed and stressed. Um, and then Miss Me says, my husband is valuable because he yields to my strengths and accentuates my weakness. Oh yeah, that sounds like um a good relationship to have because you need someone that's going to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and y'all are going to work together. You can't just keep pulling on a person's weaknesses and making them feel bad because they have weaknesses because we all have them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and having weaknesses and being vulnerable, I would think would add some value to a relationship because if you're always so high and mighty and you're so strong, isn't that sickening after a while? Doesn't someone need someone that is real that you feel that you can relate to because they have weaknesses too? Because if you always got your shit together, then
Which ain't nobody on planet Earth. Never.
right, right. Hi Rosalie Ragland. Thanks for coming in. And she says amen to that. Um, Tasha says people generalize women and everybody. If some women are sensitive, apparently all women are. This happened with genders, religion, etc. I have to read that again, okay? People generalize women and everybody. If some women are sensitive, okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying that people are generalized. So if one woman is sensitive, then all women are considered sensitive. And that's just not fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's like saying, you know, all men are breadwinners, and we know they aren't. So no, we can't generalize people. We definitely have to look at people for who they are individually.
I
Um,
was gonna say something, but I'm gonna keep my mouth.
no, go ahead, girl, get it on out.
No,
Go
I don't want
ahead,
your channel
Dolly.
getting shut down, girl. Nope. This is we gonna keep this real PG. It is Sunday. The good Lord has just touched my heart and said, "Daughter, shut up. Don't say
I
nothing." So I'm
can't.
not gonna say it.
I cannot. I cannot. No, we
It's
going.
along the lines of stereotyping and generalizing. So I'm just gonna keep this to myself. God, you know my heart. I was gonna say it, but I'm gonna shut up. Hey.
Do we think that this is something that I was thinking about? Do we think that a lot of relationships go bad because some men value the wrong thing? Do you think that some men are looking at big behinds and, you
Day
know,
20 instead of day
more?
80?
Yeah, do we think that some men are falling into the trap of looking at women at face value because they see something that looks good to them, but they're not thinking about what that person has to offer them internally, and vice versa? Because women sometimes do the same thing. Listen, I'm not really concerned. No, I won't say. Wait, hold on. Before I say something, put my foot in my mouth. I do want someone that I'm attracted to, but outward appearance is not what I'm most attracted to. I would be most attracted to someone that can sit down and have a good conversation with me. Someone that can still listen. I want you to open the door for me. I do. I want you to open the door for me. Um, so I think a lot of times men are looking at the big, excuse my French, the big asses and the big titties and the BBLs. They're looking at that and they expect to get a woman of value. And then when they don't get a woman of value, now they mad at all the other women because they picked and chose the wrong thing. That's what I'm trying to say.
And this is not to shade women that go and get that stuff done because
Not to
there's a
shade
lot
them.
of women. Right. There's a lot of women that go get BBLs and all that stuff, and they are brilliant women, lovely women.
Right, right.
But it's the how the men view them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because first thing you're looking at a female, anybody, you looking at a dude, you're not thinking, "Wow, I really love his Harvard degree." Oh my God, no, that's not what you're looking at.
Right, right, right.
Okay, because if that was the case, we would have been able to snipe Derek Jackson from a mile away and be like, "Oh, you ain't nothing but a down dirty filth
Yep.
dog." But no, what we looking at? Oh, this chocolate man up here dropping gems for the female, and look at y'all, booby trapped.
um, I don't know. I don't know. We can't get Clarence in. It's just one. Um, get,
And with the
so
phone,
can you get it in yours? Can you just get it in yours and let him come in under you? Is my question.
what do you mean?
I'm talking to try to get Clarence to join us. It's a struggle. It's really a struggle. So Miss Me says we set the damn trap and we fall into it ourselves. Um, and Tasha says I agree. We did not take a big stand, and a lot of times we don't. But I agree with the fact that there are many beautiful women that are naturally beautiful. Never mind BBLs and all that, but beauty on the outside sometimes can be superficial because I believe you have to take the time. You can't just look at someone from the outside and think that you're going to see the value in that person. You have to get to know people to find out who they truly are. And a lot of
Yep.
us look at that in a time span and go, "Oh, I've been with him for 6 months, so he good people." No, I've learned that you're not going to see the person for who they truly are until you're 2 years into it.
Not
That's
even
my
that.
experience.
There's whole women in marriages for almost 50 years and still don't know what a Negro is that they sit. No, let me, you
Tell
know
me
what,
about
God,
it.
you work.
Tell me
Up.
about
Go
it.
ahead.
Tell me about it. Um, I sent the link. I sent it. Dolly, keep talking to our people and let me try to
All
get
right.
this set
So
up, okay?
this is my thing here, right? I feel like um, when we look at certain people, right, and you know how they say the first impression is the last impression. I really don't believe that. I think a lot of people aren't good at showing who their representative is. Some people are very anxious, right? So sometimes when you meet someone the first time and they come off a little weird, a little off-putting, they saying weird stuff or they being too jokey or something, it's that's their coping mechanism. They get nervous. Give that person another chance to really get to know them. Do I think you're gonna really know the true them the second time around? No, you ain't gonna know the true them to the day you die. You ain't gonna know them. But I think we kind of give people, or we hold people to higher expectation instead of giving people a chance, right? That whole superficial thing. He said he sent it, and he said he sent it in his messenger.
Yeah, I sent it. It's
Oh
in
no,
his it's in his messenger, but I don't know why he can't click on it. That's the problem. I don't know why.
I'm
So we
telling you now. I
really
had
want
a
to
lot of
it, yeah, we having a lot of problems with this today. But what were you saying, Dolly? Go ahead.
I was
She
talking about first impressions. I'm sorry, I was
mhm.
reading a sign that popped. I was talking about first impressions and how we don't give people a chance to really get to know them. And I don't
Mhm.
believe the first impression is the final impression, right? You have to really
Thanks,
give
Quilla.
people a chance to be comfortable and show who the real them is.
Mhm.
A lot of people under they don't function well under pressure. If I'm just meeting somebody and I think that they're extremely cute, this is not me being married. I'm just speaking in general sense. If I see somebody and I think they're really cute and they my type, I'm gonna be nervous as hell to be trying to, you know, get all close to them. I'm gonna be doing all kind of geeky stuff, laughing and snorting, saying all kind of weird jokes, being inappropriate for no reason. That's just how I do. But give me another chance if I'm doing that. That don't mean that that don't mean anything. I don't mean anything bad. But then don't look at the girl also who got the big old bubble butt that she went and got sculpted up by Dr. Miami and the big boobs and think that she just she just there to be under somebody's arm and as a slide, because that's not necessarily true either. She got something to offer, maybe, allegedly. I'm not gonna sit there and say that it's all of them, but you know what I'm saying? We can't really judge by that first impression, that first meet.
Right. We have to get to really know. We have to really get to know people. We do. Hey, Rohan and Shelly, how are y'all today? We have to really get to know a person and not judge them from appearances. So, how we value people is by what they are bringing to the table from the inside, more or less than from the outside. Because I think like if you fall in love with the outside and then the inside comes out and you're not in love with the inside, does that make for a relationship that's going to last? Like it's not,
No, because
because the relationship has no substance.
right, but there's a lot of people, like for instance, you get with somebody and then you find out 2 years down the line or after he done proposed to you that he batshit crazy. Did you see that batshit crazy when you first met him?
Right,
Did you see
right,
that first week? You ain't. Now all of a sudden he crazy.
right, right.
So you really got to get to know people.
We do have to get to know people, and we have to, more than anything, we have to we have to get to know what we value most within ourselves, as opposed to um looking for something in someone else when we ourselves don't have it. and especially as women. And the reason that I wanted to do this from a male's perspective was because I wanted us as women to kind of hear a male's thought on things, because sometimes we get so wrapped up in listening to ourselves and aha, this and that. We don't know what a male is really thinking. We really don't know, because we're not men, we're women. So I thought it was important, but obviously there lost my thought. Shirley is saying, I mean, there are red flags some women choose to ignore. And that's why I lost my thought, because I thought that was so important. We do ignore red flags, but I think the reason we ignore red flags is because um, we're not living in our own truth. Because if you are true to yourself, the moment you see a red flag, it's a no go
You
for
out of
you.
it.
And you believe enough in yourself to say, no, this is a no go for me. So I think that we have to really get to be comfortable with who we are. And this is why it's so important that we empower ourselves, that women become empowered, because once we are empowered, there's nothing that we can't overcome. There's nothing in terms of relationships and attracting like-minded people to ourselves. That comes with you, whatever you, whoever you are, is what you're going to bring back.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a toxic person, you're going to attract toxicity. If you are a sweet person, you're going to attract the same people. I'm not saying that you're a sweet person and people are not going to come to you with the BS. They are.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you're going to attract more or less what you are, who you are to yourself. Um, Deshauna says, feed her and she's good. And we know that. Deshauna eats all the time. That's all she wanted to do. She said, feed her and she's good.
Oh my God.
Miss Me
That
says,
used
yes,
to
I'm
be.
sure we saw it, but we ignored it because we fell for the surface level qualities and accepted them.
Yeah.
And this is why we got to get
Got
to know people.
get to know yourself too. You gotta get to know yourself too, so you could be in touch with that intuition.
Yes,
A lot of women don't. Oh, they're not in tune with that intuition, baby. When that thing go off, and you like, oh no, that ain't look right to me. That ain't feel right. I think I need to dip, exit stage left. This ain't the move. Some women ignore that because they're not in tune with themselves.
they're not in tune with themselves, and because maybe they feel they're not worthy of anything better. Some
And
women
that's sad.
feel it is, but we got to know our own value. We have to know our own. Oh, I said it, and Miss Me just said it. Know yourself. Know yourself. Know your own value. Put value into who you are. Put everything you have into yourself first. If you're gonna love and you're gonna love hard, love yourself hard first. And I mean love every bit of yourself. Love the wrongs, love the rights, love the anything that's wrong with you. If you have a handicap, love that too. Love your mistakes, love your past, because your past is what is going to get you to where you need to be. Start loving on yourself, start knowing your worth, and then you don't have to worry about how a man values you, because you started to value yourself.
Hello, hello. And they say self love ain't the best love. Listen, baby.
Shirley says that's also a lot of women do not feel like they are with that they're worth it, right? And then Shauna says, "Know your worth. My dad made the stakes high out here." See, now we're gonna get into something real quick, and our time is running
Oh
out.
God.
See, this is the problem. This right, that right there is the problem in a nutshell. So many women have not grown up with a father that put them on a pedestal to show them their worth. And so now they're constantly looking and looking and looking, or and what happens is, again, you're attracted to what you know, what you have been with. So if you've had a dad that's been in and out of your life and that has not shown you value and worth, you're going to go towards that type of a man, because you're still seeking your dad. You're still seeking him out.
Mhm.
So, Deshauna, You were one of the fortunate that you had that dad to show you, and you knew your worth. Some women don't have that, but some women didn't have that dad and they still know their worth. So you didn't have to have that to know it. But I tell you one thing, it sure is a stepping stone, a step that you don't have to take if you've already had that. What do you think about that, Dolly?
I agree. I'm sorry, I got thrown off because I was reading a comment that that Joy and Miss Me said.
I just
Look,
put
Joy
yours
said,
up.
"Girl, that someone started talking to me one day, and I put both my hands up, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks."
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And then Miss said, "How do you instruct someone beginning their life to learn themselves? Look at what society shows us." Hmm. I would say, see, because I'm a person, I'm a nonconformist. I don't give a goddamn about what society got to say about nothing going on with me. But if you're a person who is probably more prone to giving a damn about what people think about you and about how people are living their lives, I would say to tune the hell out to all of that stuff and tune into what you are telling yourself. When you look in the mirror, do you see a person that is worthy of love? Do you feel great about yourself, about where you are in your life? You have to you have to know your own value in this world. Period. Before anybody could see anything in you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say love me, love me, love me. What the hell are they loving?
Right.
What did they invest in their time in? If you don't even know what you have to give. Why isn't anyone look after me? Why isn't anyone doing this? What are you exuding that is making people want to chase you, want to befriend you, want to pursue you? You can't just expect the world to fall at your feet because I'm following the societal tropes or whatever the hell that they got going on and telling me what I should be, how I should look. No. Feel
Joy
yourself. Love
Joy
yourself.
said, turn off social media, get a coach, a mentor, and change your circle. And I'm going to agree with you, and Dolly going to agree with you because we are coaches and we are mentors, and we
Hello.
know that it does work. Whenever we get someone that is trying to figure certain things out, it is our job to give them those tools. So when you ask that question, Miss Me, how do you take a person from where they are at that given moment. You look at them at that given moment where they are in their lives, and then we start to figure out why they are where they are, and then we start to build on the tools that they already have, because a lot of people, you have the tools but you don't even know that you have them. So what we do is we teach accountability, and we do the work with you. We let you know that we are there with you all the way, all day, all day. um
That's
but people are scared. It's not the money. It's not the money, because if it's something you really want, you'll go out and buy it. So it's not really the
hello.
money. It really is, people are fearful of change. They're scared of what the change is going to do because it's something different. And a lot of our behaviors and the men we choose, it's out of habit. We choose the same thing over and over again out of habit. um
Because you're comfortable with
you're comfortable with it. um so I hope that kind of helps you a little bit, Missy, in your question. I hope it helped a little bit. So there we go. The gentleman that's supposed to be on the screen has just showed up at my house. He just showed up because he has something to say. He said, if this wasn't going to
it.
work,
Determination. If determination was a person, oh my God. I
he
wish this
said,
nigga would show up at
he
the goddamn
said,
house to prove a
I'm
point.
going to get this
Every
out one way or the another. So we and we don't have that much time, and I don't want to hold you guys up too long. I have enigmatic opinion here, and he is going to speak to us. He has something that he wants to say. Um, Miss Me said, at your house. Now that's value.
Hello.
He showed up at my house. So, guys, we are going to
Jesus.
welcome Enigmatic Opinion here.
Hey,
And you have something to offer this conversation, and we are here for it.
yeah,
Introduce
this.
yourself.
Sorry, I'm Jordan, Arif Jordan, but this was before I knew he was coming, so like I at least wanted to give input like on behalf of males, but then he can like come on once I'm done. But so you were talking about like women of value at the beginning, and it is tough because that's something that's subjective, right? Meaning that there isn't a concrete right answer per se. Individual circumstances obviously are going to vary, but I will say that regardless of circumstance, there are certain core values, right, that I would argue most men consider necessities. So those are things like being able to work as a member of a team. Like, since that teamwork is at the root of every relationship, whether it's a business relationship, a familial relationship, friendship, marriage, whatever, teamwork is crucial to keep a relationship thriving. Right. Secondly, was like the importance of a woman's ability to be nurturing. Right, because children are of the utmost importance. Right, they rely on us, like as parents, us as men, you guys as women, to shape them, right, and prepare them for the world. Right, so sons should be looking at fathers to see how to properly treat a woman, and then they should be looking at their mom to see the ideal woman, right, and vice versa when it comes to like our daughters, right. Sorry, long-winded. The third thing is comfortability with being both expressive and receptive, like as far as emotions are concerned, right? Things like talking through our problems rather than repressing feelings and bottling things up until one person or the other explodes. Open communication is like definitely by far a necessity. And then last but not least was the benefit of having one's own identity, right? Like very important to know like who you are as a woman before you even entertain the thought of like a long-term relationship. So just my 2 cents. I'm gonna give it to Clarence.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate that. You sound like a very smart young man.
I mean, I
Very,
try.
very smart. Very smart.
My mom's kind of smart. She got me there.
That's my son, guys, for y'all that don't know. That is my son. So Clarence is coming on over. Dorothy said, talk, Jordan, talk. We liked it. So Clarence is going to come in and join us, and we're going to wrap this up soon. We're going to wrap it up soon because I appreciate you guys coming in. Um, Miss Me said, thank you for that. Thank you. Shirley said, Mama, Mama, that's right. Hey, Mr. Clarence, welcome, welcome. Better late than never. Better
Word.
late than never. Glad to have you here. So, Clarence, to the question is going back to what are the requirements of a high value woman? What do you look for when you're looking for a good woman?
A woman that's considerate. That's number one. It don't matter how much money she got. It don't matter too much about anything else. But she got to be considerate. She can't. I can't have a woman who is outwardly beautiful but inwardly dark. I just can't deal with it. But I'm speaking as a 59-year-old black man in America who was born in 1962. The kids today are different. I feel like, I mean, I might be stepping on some toes here, but I feel like the black woman has destroyed the black man. Because when you baby your sons, when you tell your son, oh, you can sit there and play video games all day, or you don't have no chores, you don't have to wash dishes, you don't have to cut grass, you don't have to do anything. that destroys him because he looks for a woman like that to take care of him instead of being a man. You know, I'm a different kind of guy. I come from a different era. I believe in holding the door open for my woman. I don't believe in letting my woman pay half the bills in my house. I'm the king. The king's supposed to make his wife, the queen, easy. He's supposed to make her life easier. He not supposed to, it's no, I mean, if you really about it, if you really a man, you going to take care of that queen. Her life is supposed to be easy. You're supposed to be a plus to her. You're not supposed to, you know, this is 50-50. You got to pay the half the Con Edison bill, half the. No, it's not like that, you know. So I come from a whole different era of men, and I see a lot of young guys like, oh, she got to pay half. She got to do half. She got to do this. She got to do that. And I think it's wrong. And any woman would not stand for it. You know, any woman would be like, yo, listen, I could do bad by myself. You know, I could do bad by myself, you know, and I don't really need a man to take care of me, but it's nice to have that thought there, you know?
So I have a question for you. I have a question. You ready?
I'm ready.
You know I'm about to cut off. So Clarence, will you marry me?
All day, every day. I don't know what else to say.
So Rosalie says, I totally agree. Yes, say it. He's talking some good stuff, and I agree. So Festus has a question for you. He says, so are y'all supposed to drown because you want to pay for it all? So he's saying, what if we're living a certain lifestyle?
If you got a queen, if you got a real queen, she ain't gonna let her king drown. You know what I'm saying? She gonna say, well, listen, I'm banking X amount of dollars. He paying for everything. Let me take some burden off of him. Let me throw him an extra little couple of dollars for the mortgage. We talking mortgage now. I'm not talking you know. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting excited because
some people pay
rent, yeah, but you know, a queen gonna really not be a sponge. She not gonna suck them dry. She gonna stand up and say, "Yo, listen, this is a good man I got, and I'm not gonna destroy him. I'm gonna take care of what I need to take care of too. You know, and it's one hand wash the other. Both hands wash the face. You know, and it's a team. When you commit to a woman, that's your corporation. If you don't run your corporation right, it's gonna die. It's gonna bankrupt. It's gonna fall apart. You know.
So um thank you for that, Clarence. Thank you for that. You've given us an earful. And
I wish I was here an hour ago, but I'll be here. I'll be here every week. I got a bunch of my friends that call me a million times. Where you at? Where you at? I'm on. I'm on. I just got here. I don't know. I couldn't get here.
so you made some valid points. And part of the problem is that um, maybe there aren't enough men out here that still think that way. And maybe there aren't enough women out here that are in a position to accept that from a man because maybe they are just not ready mentally, emotionally, and I think that's a big issue. I think that a lot of us are. We say we want something, but we are not really ready for it because when mentally and emotionally we're not ready. Some women have had so much hurt and pain that when the right thing comes to them, they're not really ready to accept it. So that's a problem that I'm sure that someone like yourself has run into. And I know because we talk, but these are problems that a lot of us run into. Um, but we are well over our hour. We're well over our hour.
Wait. We got a couple of seconds. Um, excuse me. You
Well, wait,
saying
give me 1 minute, Clarence.
okay.
Before, because I know some of you set your timers or whatever for the hour. So before any of you pull out, I want to thank Dolly, the coach, for showing up, and I want to thank Clarence for making every effort to get here. And he did get here, so that's what matters. If you want to follow Dolly, follow her at Dolly the Coach _85 on Instagram, and she has a website which is dollythecoach.net. So, we want to thank Dolly for being here, for saving us. Thank you.
Yes.
So we want to do that first. And also, if you're not following me, I am on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Go on over to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell because you're going to be notified each and every time I put out a video. Also, follow me on Facebook because I put out some jewels every day, some positive affirmation and things for you to get your day started on. So check out my Facebook so that you can see what we're putting out. And keep in mind that I am never here to bash on anyone, no man, no child, no female, no nothing. We are here to simply empower women. That means to inspire you to be the best that you possibly can. So please continue to follow us and meet me here on Sundays. If you are interested in being a guest, reach out to me on Facebook Messenger or Instagram. Hit me up at my, you can also hit me up by email, which is carolscoachingcorner@gmail.com. So we're going to finish out with Clarence. And for those of you who made it, I want to thank you again because I so appreciate it. You didn't have to be here. I'm sure there was someplace else you could have been. So thank you guys so much for showing up and showing out. Okay, and remember, if you can dream about it, you damn sure can be about it. So Clarence, you're going to finish us out.
Okay. I just want to comment on the fact that you said women are not ready for relationships because they've been hurt, but men been hurt too. Men have been hurt, and if you don't learn something from your pain, you just an idiot. You just gonna let it hurt you over. The next relationship gonna hurt you. You're gonna bring your same baggage. You learn. You take whatever negative situation you get yourself into, and take all the positive out of it. And life is like this. You gotta kiss a few frogs before you find Prince Charming. So you're gonna run into a bunch of little idiots out here, but don't give up. Where I live, I don't have many black women up there. I don't have a variety of. I don't have a choice. I don't talk to nobody up there, but I keep it sister. I keep it 100 sister. I don't. I really. That's my choice, my preference, but I noticed that it's so hard to approach a black woman these days. They look you up and down, they cross their eyes, they roll their eyes at you, and it if I wasn't confident in the man that I am and what I have and what I've accomplished in life, I'd be hurt behind that. But there's a lot of guys that are afraid to approach black women. And it's sad because no black man's ego is his most fragile part of him. If you crush his ego, that's where you get them little young boys. They out there cursing women out. Oh, you a B anyway. You were this, you were that. The ego. It's the ego. And once you get confident and once you get secure in who you are, you don't let people like that hurt you. But I'm never gonna give up on my sisters. Y'all can down me all day. Oh, you this, you that. I'm good. In my life, I'm good. I don't work. I don't have no job, and I love it. And most of the time, I tell people I tell women I don't have no job. The first thing they do, oh, you a drug dealer. Oh, you a bum. Oh, you a... No, honey. No, nowhere near that. I'm good. So I'm not even gonna talk about what I got, but I'm good,
So Dolly, is there something that you want to say to close us out? Real quick, someone's asking for the YouTube. My YouTube is Carol's Coaching Corner. You can find me on YouTube at Carol's Coaching Corner. And be sure to subscribe. Okay. Dolly, can you close us out?
Dolly,
Dolly froze. Dolly?
I can't hear.
Okay. Dolly, can you? Okay. So Dolly has no sound.
Yeah.
So there you go. There you go.
Lord have mercy, Jesus. I said, Clarence, thank you for coming in and giving your male perspective. I appreciate it. Uh, and I just wanted to say that I agree with everything that the brother said, except for one. And I wouldn't be me if I didn't voice my opinion.
That's
I
right.
hope so.
When it comes to a mother raising their son,
Mm-hmm.
not let all of the blame go on how the mother is raising a son. Because if the father was there to do his job, the mother wouldn't have to be there trying to pick up the slack.
You're right. You're
So
absolutely right.
that's the only thing I didn't agree with. So when it comes to raising kids in general, both
Mm-hmm.
parents need to be there and be efficient, not
Yes.
just be there paying the bills and feeding them, doing the bare minimum that a parent is supposed to do, but to raise your children as a unit. And that's when you're going to see the best qualities come out of your kid. And when they grow up, they make the choices that you would want them to make as adults. So that's all I wanted to say about that. But this is a lovely conversation. I appreciate everybody, all the comments. I appreciate my mama tuning in, showing her baby girl so much.
Yes, she did. She was here. So thank you guys. We are going to close out, and I will see you guys same time, same place. Sundays talks with Carols. I will see you next week. And again, if you have anything that you want us to discuss, hit me up on my email, DM me on Instagram, or hit me up on Messenger. Um, I'm here, and let me know. Okay, so have a good evening, everyone, and thanks again.
I
Bye.
don't know how to cut this off, so.